So just by way of, personal introduction or whatever, this is my family. So my daughter and her husband live in North Carolina. And then my son is living with us going to Davis Tech, and that's our dog Zoe. And then my husband, one of the cool things about him is he's actually an author. So how many of you remember Jake Astle? Jake and Jared are best friends, and they have written books, and they have a trilogy out. If you like science fiction at all, or you know somebody, please, check them out. So I'm going to pass these down. If you want one, take one, great. Otherwise, that's okay too. But I thought they're good. I really like his books. So, and I'm not a sci-fi reader, but they're really good. Okay. So just kind of as an overview of what I do, I help people with digitization. That's often the thing that I talk about, like in my 30-second commercials, because it's the easiest to explain in a short amount of time. And because if you're over about 30, you probably have something, right? You probably have a VHS or slides or things like that. And the thing that I would tell you is they are deteriorating. Please get them digitized. Even if you don't go through me, get them digitized, because they're only going to get worse, right? So please go through. I would love you to go through me, but however you're going to do it, get them digitized. I will say that Forever is higher quality. I've had people actually digitize with someone else and they weren't happy. They come back and they do the digitization with Forever and they say, wow, I didn't know there was such a difference. So the other thing we do is storage, and that's the thing I'm going to spend the most time on. So I'm going to skip that one for a minute. I do, as Pamela was saying, printing of photo gifts. So blankets and water bottles and books and calendars and all those kinds of things. You can design them yourself very easily online, or I can do some design work for you, either way. So think of me when it comes to printing photo things. And then we also do family history research. So that can look like you pay us to do it for you, or it can look like we can coach you and have you, if you want to do it, if you like doing research. Okay, so storage. What is storage? It is a cloud-based storage, so like Google, like iCloud. The main difference is that you own it. With Forever, you buy a certain amount of space and you never pay again unless you add more space, right? But you own that house for your files, memories, whatever you're going to put in there. iCloud, you don't own it. Once you stop paying, it will go away. And if you read their terms of service, and that would be one thing I would tell anybody on anything really, read your terms of service. How many times, I mean, we all do it, I do it. You're doing something, you need an account, you just go ahead and click yes and move forward and do whatever it is you needed to do. Well, what did you just really agree to? People don't know. iCloud says, you are responsible for backing up your own stuff. We are not responsible for corruption or loss, or I forget exactly how it's worded, but it's like, wait a minute. I thought that's why we were using iCloud. Google, we all know that's not really, they're going to advertise to you. Anyway, it's maintained so legally we say lifetime plus 100 years. The goal is really much longer than that, but that's all the legal words that we can say. We will also migrate to the next format. So like right now, it's JPEGs for pictures, it's MP4s for videos. Whatever the next thing is, we will automatically migrate to that next thing. Awesome. You're stopping that conversion cycle, right? Because that's what we're in right now, is converting all the old things to digital. And you own it even after you're gone. That account stays open, so your great-grandchildren will have your photos and memories. So some of the things, it's permanent, like I was just saying. You have your own preservation settings. You can decide what happens to it. Who has control over this account? Who can see it? Either now or even in the future, you can say, this is what I want to happen to my stuff. Migration, talked about that. It's secure. It's redundantly backed up in multiple locations. We're not going to sell your name to somebody else to advertise to you, whatever. We're not. We keep your information, and it's secure with us. It's private, but it is shareable. So you get to choose who you're sharing what with. I have things in my account that nobody gets to see but me. Like I scan in, I have all our documents and things like that in there, driver's licenses, things like that, so that if the house burned down or whatever, I would still be able to get to those things. But I'm not going to share those with anybody, right? Those are private. And then there's things that I want to share with anybody, that I'm happy to share. Family stuff. My cousins should have my grandparents' pictures too, right? So I can share those. You can be collaborative, so you can work with people. An example, every year we go to Bear Lake. My in-laws have a cottage up there, and they choose a week for all of us to come. Used to be, I would get everybody's camera cards the last day and transfer all the pictures to everybody. Now I just make an album, make it collaborative, share the link. My sister-in-laws, they can add whatever they're willing to share. They can download whatever they want from others. It's so nice. Mobile, we have an app. It's on the phone. And full resolution, we don't compress anything. If you even Google, it compresses when you download it. Facebook for sure compresses everything. And that's because they're not in the business of storing memories. And so they're doing whatever they're doing. That's great, but they need to not take up as much space. And so that's why they'll do that compression, so that it doesn't take as much storage space. Okay, so I want to talk about, so we all know, I talk about memories, photos, videos, audio, those kinds of things, obviously. There's other things you can keep in your account. So photos, videos, audio files, or documents, meaning like a PDF. So these are some other ideas of things that you might choose to store in a secure place like forever. So have an album that has your wishes, has your, when I die, these are my funeral wishes. These are what I want to happen. This is my will. This is my, those kinds of instructions for people. Make sure it's private, but make sure that the important people know where it is, right? Inventory. The insurance people will say, take pictures of your stuff. Where are you going to put it, right? Put it in your forever account. So my husband collects Legos. We have, and I'm not exaggerating, those who have been in my house know, we have thousands of dollars worth of Legos in our house. And it's great. I love it. If our house burnt down and we were to go to the insurance person and say, we have thousands of dollars of Legos, they'd go, yeah, right. Oh, goodness, I only have 2 minutes left. Talking too much. Anyway, so he takes pictures of all of his kits. He builds them, takes pictures, and it's in our account. Recipes, projects for school, collections, anything you collect. If you have a process of something, you're creating something, you could take pictures along the way and have that. Of course, I talked about documents already, education stuff, genealogy, all of these things are great. What about for business? For business, you could use forever too. Anything that you need to store securely and share with others, forever would be a great use for that. So these are just some ideas. I have 2 slides worth of different ideas. I'm sure there's many others. Realtor, obviously, they're taking pictures of houses, right? They also could use forever printing and print gifts for closing gifts. Photographer, well, obviously, you're gonna, it's photos, right? Law firm, again, your documents, your photos for cases, accounting, receipts. Share that link with your accountant. He then has everything you need. Event planning, construction, process along the way, right? The roof, along the way, they're taking the pictures of the roof. They could have it in a forever account. Graphic design, of course, you could be storing different things that you do, have your portfolio in there, easy to pull up and show people, easy to share and deliver to people. Education, travel agency, your itineraries, your pictures, you could fold into it then, having them have a book at the end of the trip. They're taking pictures along the way, the pictures go in the account, you create a book for them or have them create a book of a souvenir of their trip. Nonprofit, same thing, reports, photos, videos, marketers. I mean, all of these are things, if you need to store or share files or share files, forever is the perfect vehicle for that because it's private, it's secure, you own that space. So that is what I had. Sorry, there's really not any time for questions, but any last quick things? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. I think they can, but they won't. I don't, actually, we've been in the process. I don't know that they do get into it.
My guess is people high up can.
Right.
I mean, if you create it, you've got the ability to make
Sure,
it,
sure,
right?
yeah.
So, but I'm guessing they have the ability also to limit who has what access.
Exactly, and they do.
Somebody's got all
Yes,
access.
right.
If somebody puts the password on a file or folder, even the people that created it can't get in.
Right, and that's what I was just going to say, is that is in the works, is having like two-factor authentication. I'm not saying that right, but and being able to lock down one specific, like a specific album where people may be able to see other things in the account, but that album would be locked. Those are things that they're working on. I do know that when they're digitizing things, because they just were talking about this, if like there's pornography or something, they're kind of legally required to then not, not digitize that, not put that up there. They do a quality check as they're digitizing to make sure things are good as they're going through. So they're obviously seeing those, but once they're in the account, they're not.
Dependent upon what the keyword is.
Exactly.
So adults.
Right, totally. Right. Yeah. So, I, like Sherry said, I think high up could. I don't think anybody is. I don't think that the support person you're calling on the phone can. I think it would
really
be. It is a good question. Exactly. It is a great question, and I will take that back. Yeah, and they probably can. I don't know for sure because I don't know the answer to that. I'd never asked, but yeah. Anyway, I know that everybody else can't. Nobody's getting into my account but me. Unless I share my password, and then anybody could. So.
All right.